punch it. So you're
Okay,
doing some
you're
cold
recording.
calling.
Yeah, of cold calling real estate investors in the US.
Yeah. And
Yeah, so today was my first real. I cold called I think a couple of weeks ago, but I had a strep throat, so I couldn't really speak.
oh,
Right after I fought the devil, fucking strep throat. So, any case, I just came back in it. Last half an hour, I was just cold calling a few people, and yeah, some interesting stuff that I have as feedback.
oh,
And
really? What did you?
happy to share that with you.
Yeah.
Let me share you. Just curious, what time is it where you're at? Don't know.
It's 2:05.
You're in the West Coast?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Where exactly?
Down in Alameda, right outside of
Oh, okay.
Oakland. Yeah. Where are you at?
Yeah. I'm in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. What time is it over there?
7 a.m. here. So
Dude.
right smack in the morning. So I just sent something in the chat, and that is I guess it's just I'm gonna share my screen actually. No biggie.
Yeah, go ahead.
But this is the actual. So this is a script I went over with Johnny. So Johnny from Copy Course, one of the moderators, great guy. He is involved in real estate marketing at the moment. He's working with a few people, like basically in my industry. So he's a sales guy as well. So we went through his script. We created this script. You see draft one.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm currently using. So obviously this is the first name. Who am I? And then, the whole point of the thing is like saying, hey, market is dry. There are no more home sellers, because that's what I'm marketing myself as a lead gen for investors.
Yeah.
So then this is like the provocative question I'm trying to hit, because market is dry and everyone knows that. So this is like hitting that, and then this is the pitch right here. So I have a couple things I can say, but from your, yeah, I'd love to hear any thoughts that you might have.
Well, okay. What happened when you made the call? When you made the calls?
Yeah, so I just made I I think like 3 or 4 calls before we spoke, and for 4 to 5 p.m. is the best time to hit people. By the way, I got pretty high connection rate.
Cool.
Let's see a couple things. Yes, so someone said the most recent guy I spoke to, he said I sound like a recording. So I went to the pitch like, hey Steve, probably call. And then he's like, is this a recording? And I'm like, no, this is a real person. I laughed, and then he also laughed. And he's like, okay, go ahead, man. so
okay. let's just pause right there and address what you did, not really maybe realizing it, right? Is that, can you hear me? By the way, is my audio okay?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, so you ever heard of a guy named Jeffrey Gitomer?
I've never heard of him.
Okay, so Jeffrey Gitomer, he wrote a book called The Sales Bible, and he can totally he has the authority to write a book called The Sales Bible, because the dude has sold some pretty heavy duty stuff. All right, here, 1 second. We're gonna try to, I'm just trying some things out here. Let's see. I'm trying to see how to switch this back to my face so that I can see my face for a second.
Let me just stop sharing.
Sure, for just a sec. It's interesting to see how this how Zoom works. All right, so Jeffrey Gitomer, he writes this book called The Sales Bible, and he totally has the street cred to do this. He's done a lot of high-end sales. He's taught sales for about 30 years, and one of the things that he says is, if you can get them to laugh with you, you can get them to buy. So if people that won't laugh with you, you're not even on the same page. There's this thing with primates where laughter is a sign of like you're in sync. Okay, you get each other and stuff like that. So you made him laugh, and then you laughed at the same time. That's where you want to be, because most of the time I'm not. When somebody cold calls me, I'm not laughing. I'm like, get the hell out of here, right? Okay, so yay. Anyways, go ahead. Next thing. If you want to share screen again.
Let me just write that down.
Yeah, laughter, it's one of these really unconscious things that is it's deep, it's primal. It goes back, at least 7 million years, because chimps do it as well. They have a it's not quite a laugh like ours, but it's a chuckle that is always it's tied into two things. It's tied into intelligence and social hierarchy. So perfect example of the social hierarchy one, right? If your boss tells a joke and you don't laugh at it, or you laugh at the wrong time, you might find yourself getting fired because you're not in resonance. But when you laugh together, like, it's a huge thing. And right, the boss is the higher alpha, and here you are. So when you're laughing together, that is, it's got, yeah, it has these really interesting power dynamics that are totally unconscious and really powerful. And yeah, so always a good thing.
Cool. Yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, I guess I guess I can just role play with you.
Okay.
And I'd love to hear your thoughts.
All right.
So say you click. So you say hello. I'm like, hey Don, I know you're not expecting my call. Do you have a moment? I promise to be brief.
Who is this?
Hi, so this is AJ from Real Estate, from RPI Diamond Leads. We're a real estate marketing agency for investors. And I'm not sure.
I'm kind of busy right now. What? I'm going to be a jerk, okay? Because I'm going to be honest. Okay, there's like kind of two people. I think when there's calling, there's the totally nice person and there's the jerk. Okay, who's like, I'm busy. I can't believe a guy spammer has got through to me and whatever. Okay, so let me see here. This is, so go ahead, keep going though.
Gotcha. I'm not sure where
We can start again.
let me start. So, hey Don, and you're not. Okay, let me just put here. Okay. Hey Don, I know you're not expecting my call. Do you have a moment? I promise to be brief.
Okay, who is this?
This is AJ from REI Diamond Leads, a real estate marketing agency for investors. And I'm not sure I can help you, but I'm hearing things from other cash buyers that I work with that a home inventory in your market is super dry. Do you find that's the case?
I don't really know too much about that stuff, I guess.
Gotcha. So I think that the
right?
investors that I speak to will never see.
Well, let's just see, right? I'm going to throw you some curveballs, right? It's like, see how you, because you'd never know, right? Okay, so say the investor is like, yeah, I'm not really experiencing that here.
Okay, that's interesting. Could you tell me like what it seems like business is really good for you right now?
It is. What's this call about?
Yeah, so I wanted to reach with you directly to see if you're open to the possibility of looking at any hidden gaps in your current lead gen systems.
In my current, I'm sorry, what was that?
Lead gen systems,
Lead sharing,
lead generation
lead
systems you have in
generation. Okay.
place.
Um, gaps.
Yes, it seems like you're doing really well already, but I'm sure we can even optimize it even more. Do you feel you can
Okay.
do that?
Well, I do get a bunch of these calls every day. So what are we, what are we talking about here? So what I would suggest for you, get to the friggin' point, right?
Okay.
Get to the point.
Yeah.
Tell me right away. What are you gonna do?
Can you write that down?
Because I'm the kind of guy who has that much patience for spam calls. Like anything I perceive as spam calls, like, yeah, I'm a kind of, yeah, I'm more on the hostile end, which is going to be good because if you can get through to me,
Yeah.
you're you'll know, right? So kind of my experience, this is just like really quick. Have you done much cold calling before?
I have not.
Okay. Uh, so I was working for a computer company and doing marketing, and he needed somebody who could do things. Things weren't working out. They were trying to do this document scanning service, and it wasn't getting any traction really. And what he had me do is start making cold calls, which sucks. Let me just say that, right? So, because yeah, cold calls, right? It's rough. But I started grinding it out. And the thing that I learned was I should have started with cold calling because I learned so freaking much about the market and how the market was working that I wouldn't have even tried to market the scanning service, right? Because everybody I called, I managed to talk with them, and uh, I would learn a little bit about how they were handling it. They were customers. It was called Laserfish was the name of the company, and they most people were doing, rather than using a proprietary service, they were just scanning and making PDFs, cheap, affordable, crank it out. They didn't really care about any of this other stuff. So you're trying to figure out some things about your market, right?
Yep.
And you just want to talk. You're just you're just trying to strike up a conversation with me, right? So tell me how you're gonna do that.
Yeah, I was just writing down a few notes because you said like get to the fucking point. And even for like the call that I just had, the guy was like, "Hey, and I'm all set. I have enough business," which is great because that's exactly what I want my investors to have. Because if they are doing, so if they are doing like physical channels, like maybe referrals and stuff like that, I'm like, "Hey, have you explored social media for your business?" So it's exactly what he said. Very conversational. Very. That's the main thing I really want to see, whether they've explored, using digital marketing for their business. So
Okay.
I'm just writing that down uh, based on what we spoke about.
Yeah, if I could suggest the thing with this, your definition of a win is you get somebody to talk with you,
Yeah.
right? That's it. Like, and you learn something from them. And if you do that, that's that right there. It's gonna help you so much.
Yes. A question for you on that is that how do you So after, how would you structure it with your cold calls, to get to that point where they start to open up?
How would
do you give
I
them
how would
space?
I do the cold call?
How do you give them space to open up after, your pitch?
Okay, first of all, number one rule, don't sound like you're a cold call. Because as soon as you sound like you're a cold call, you're already in the danger zone of just like, I'm gonna hang up on you, chunk. I mean, first of all, it's good that like you're not a robocall, clearly, right? You're trying to just be you're trying to be helpful, right?
Exactly.
I mean, aren't you trying to help this guy? So raise your hand. I want to help you. Right? Like, in order to help you, I need to help you. I mean, in order to help you, I need to understand you and I need to understand where you're coming from. So, how do you do that? Right? Like, you just ask questions and you're going to be doing, right? Like Chris Voss, if you recall from the book, tactical empathy, right? You're trying to understand the other guy. And the way you do that is by asking those questions that are going to get them to talk,
Right, exactly.
right? That they're going to, like, why in the hell should I spend my valuable time talking with a complete stranger that I really don't give a rat's ass about? Like, I got other stuff to do. So if you're going to talk with me, I might actually talk with you if you're cool. And I might talk with you if I think, uh, I'll get something out of it, or you're not a complete waste of my time. Right? So what are you going to do? You're going to make me some money or what? Like,
Hell of a lot of money.
yeah,
So okay.
say it like
Yeah.
you mean it.
I see your point. I should actually do more research, like how to use NTSD for cold calls. And,
Well, just talk to
and so on.
somebody, you're having a conversation with someone, right? Like, that's all. You're and you're immediately trying to get them to the point that you can help them. So, hi, my name's AJ, and I'm with a market research firm trying to understand if there's a way that we can help people like yourself. I would really appreciate a minute of your time. And I'm promising I'm not going to be a dick or a jerk, whatever. Talk conversationally, right? Like, see this? Smile,
Right.
smile. Okay. That right there, hold that while you're talking, because people can hear a smile. Seriously, like, it's going to be
Yeah,
the
I
thing you
can
got
really
to
hear it.
do. You can't sit there. You have to be smiling because it'll make you feel better. They'll hear it in your voice, right? Like, and it's gonna,
Gotcha.
right? Always like work out these muscles, these facial muscles right here. Like, take them down to the gym and like lift weights, or no, I'm joking. So, but seriously, like, it's huge. That was one of the things they said, Neville said in class, right?
Yeah.
Or Dan said, smile. Like, no, it's Neville who said it. When you make those cold calls, smile.
He
So
said put like a mirror right there,
yeah,
so that when you look, you have to be smiling every time.
yeah, right. Like, and part of the mirror is that it gives you a face to look at because you're only hearing, right? So go ahead and try.
I will, I will be using it for sure. I do have a question on. Sorry, let me share my screen. So this is a lot easier. So this is my current script. Hey Steve, just recall your moment. I'm not sure because I'm trying to like bait them with like a question, with like a provocative question, which is how the market is, which everyone knows is very dry. So just
Okay,
wondering if that's the best way to go about with spiking
you
them.
think everyone knows that it's dry?
I think the investors I'm with, like they will know, they have a feeling of like, oh shit, yeah, it's kind of things are not the same as it used to be.
Okay. So how would you say that? And here's an example. How I would probably jump right into the point, right? Just get right to it. Hi, Steve. I know, like, let's see. Hey, Steve, got a moment? I promise to be brief. Even that kind of sounds like you could be in trouble. um, let me just try. Hey, Steve, do you have a moment? I promise to be brief. Hey, Steve, this is AJ. If you got a second, I promise to be brief. I'm just trying to find out if you think let's see. I work with home inventory in New York, and I hear it's pretty dry. So let's talk about what I just did. When you're communicating, this is really interesting phenomenon. 90, okay, so 55% of your communication is body language. 35% is tone of voice. 10% is the words you're using. What does that mean to you? It means that they're not going to see your body language. It's not bad. It's good probably if your body is doing what it's would normally be
Mhm.
doing, but they got to hear your tone of voice. And you're a Star Wars fan?
I mean, I'm all right.
Do you know what the
I watched.
Jedi do? Have you ever seen these are not the droids you're looking for? Do you ever see that before?
I don't recall that exact.
Yeah, so there's this famous scene in the first Star Wars where it's these stormtroopers are looking for Luke, and Obi-Wan Kenobi says, "These are not the droids you're looking for." Tone of voice. It's
Gotcha.
huge. It is magical. It do you hear, if you listen to my tone of voice, it's making all these ups and downs. It has a rhythm to it. It has inflection. There is, and this is huge. And the reason why I'm so kind of tuned into this is I did Toastmasters for quite a few years, and I've done a fair amount of public speaking. And one of the single most important things you're going to do is get your tone of voice dialed in.
Yeah.
And you're going to do that by practicing and practicing some more. Go into the mirror. I have speeches that I've given 50 times to myself. Why?
I would definitely.
Because when you get up in front of an audience, your mind is going to go blank. It'll just be like, oh crap, like, right? Like, so you practice it because you want it ingrained in your bones, in your unconscious, and you're going to practice it because if you recall, right, use the force, Luke. What is he talking about? The idea is that there is this, 95% of our brain is subconscious. And most of what's happening in our lives is subconscious. But when you practice, it gets into your subconscious so that when you get in a tough situation, you can do what the samurai did, because that's what the Jedi are a ripoff of. They're a ripoff of the real life samurai who practice Zen meditation so they could clear their mind, so that they could be present and go for it. And I know this because I've done Zen for 30 years every day without fail. I wanted to be a Jedi when I was a kid. So I started doing Zen meditation, which is what the samurai did, so that I could clear my mind, so that I could use the force. And you do that, right, by practice. And you're going to get so good at it, right? I would, wouldn't be hesitate to go in front of a mirror and say that until it's totally memorized. And it sounds to my ear like it's just a conversation. And believe me, I've done it. Like, it really helps. Because you're going to call the dude up and he's going to throw you a curveball and you're toast. Okay. So, but we're taking a moment here to practice. Hey, Steve, this is AJ, and I'm trying, what is it? I'm a marketing, I help investors with their, I help real estate investors with their marketing. I understand the market in New York is pretty dry. Are you experiencing this, or do you need any help with marketing? Right? I just took what you have, kind of shrunk it down and said it. And it's clear and to the point. But you've opened up the question. You need any marketing help? Like, if you need a second, if you got a second, Steve, I think that we can get you pretty good results. And the reason why I think this is because we've done it for some other people. He might listen to you. What is this, like an agency who's, wants to charge me $3,000 a month to, like, but you better be good. So I'm with REI Diamond Leads. I don't even know if he does. I don't care about REI Diamond Leads. Focused on getting motivated home sellers before they hit the MLS listings using social media. Don't really care how you get the leads. For me personally, what I love is to know that how you're going to do it. Like, this is what I was doing at Allied Construction Services when I was as their digital marketing manager. I would get these, like, guys calling me up, hey, we'd love to do marketing for you. A lot of it was by cold email, and I'd check out their website and I'd see how that looked, because I was looking for a process, right, that was like, these guys know what the hell they're doing. I want to know that I'm going to pay whatever, $3,000 a month or $4,500 a month, and I'm going to get results.
Right.
I don't care how you get results. Like, so it really, it doesn't matter to me. And I know that there's enough people out there who claim to be able to get results. Eh, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't want, I don't want to take any risk. 3 grand a month to like, you know, test some dude out who's like, so what do you say?
No, you gave me a lot of food for thought. I'm just writing down.
I'm gonna let you talk because I'm doing all the talking.
No, I really appreciate what you said. No, no, just looking at, I love how calm and composed even you are. So it definitely comes across. Like, I already feel more calm and composed when I.
Right? Like it takes practice. It's gonna just, but really, like sitting in front of a mirror is gonna give you confidence. I have a mirror sitting right over here, by the way. I know what I'm talking about. Like I can look myself in the mirror right there because it's sitting right over to the side. So it's the stuff that I would do myself because um so I believe in magic. And when I say that, it might sound kind of weird, but I got street cred because I'm a practicing magician. One of the things a magician does, they practice in the mirror. Because when you practice in the mirror, you can see what the other person in front of you is going to see. It's what any public speaker does. You practice in front of the mirror. It's called mirror magic. And it really is magical. There's only 10 species on the freaking planet that can recognize themselves in a mirror. And we're one of them. It's amazing. It's like all the 5 apes, the orangutan, the common chimp, bonobo, gorilla, and humans. So use it. Like it's really, you know, and even just go have a conversation with yourself in the mirror. Like you might feel a little bit weird at first, but
Yeah.
you're going to practice making eye contact. You're going to do all these things. You're going to go, oh, you know what? When I'm listening to myself, I sound boring. I sound tired. Bump it up. And, you know, any chance you can get to practice public speaking, if you, I don't know, I don't think I think Toastmasters it's Toastmasters
global.
International. Like,
Yeah.
dude, you get into a good Toastmasters club, you will get experience speaking in public, and you need to have that experience. It's going to really help you. It's going to helps anybody. It changed my life. So,
Gotcha.
you know, so, but go ahead and try this. Like, just have a conversation with me. Hey, Donovan.
Yeah, just looking at me. So. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, hey Don. I know you're not expecting my call, but do you have a moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's AJ here. You know, we do lead gen for investors, and you know, I'm not sure if I can help you, but okay, sure. I'm kind of going into that road mode. I see that this question is kind of leading me into the road mode, so I need to.
Yeah. What you're doing is you're reading your stuff out loud and you're realizing it sounds weird. Most people don't talk like that. Right? Like what did the guy say? He said, "Am I talking to a computer?" Right?
I think
Because you're
it's just a
talking like a
recording.
computer. That's why.
Help you.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
normal people don't talk that way. It's just
I'm not
so
sure if I
give it
can
a
help
shot
you.
though.
So,
But this is the
yeah.
thing. You're doing a good job because you're just getting out there. You're trying, you're doing it, right? You're going to fail
Right.
about 100 times. Let yourself fail 100 times and be cool with that. The fact is, you ground it out and you did it. You failed 100 times and you got better every time. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's see. I'm not even sure I can help you, but I'm hearing from the other cash buyers in the market that the market is really dry right now. Do you find that's the case for you?
Yeah. Good, you're
Oh,
smiling. Good. Keep it
gotcha.
up
Gotcha. Yeah,
every freaking time. Okay.
I wanted to reach out to you because I'm just curious if you have any hidden gaps within your lead gen systems that we might be able to come and fix.
I'm sorry, you were kind of soft spoken. What did you say?
Can you hear me?
That's better.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted to reach out to you, to see where you're at in the investing space and, are you looking, okay, sure, I need to, I kind of realized I'm speaking. I'm like, okay, I need to probably edit this pitch.
Yeah, no. Okay, this is one of the
This is
things,
useful.
one of the best passes ever, one of the best editing passes ever is when you say it out loud, you're gonna hear it. And you're gonna be like, that sounds weird. Yeah.
Just thinking how to humanize.
Just talk to me. Just have a conversation.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, well, I'm just really interested to know whether the current, how are you getting motivated home sellers in this dry market?
All the time. Okay. Try it again.
Okay. I'm just curious to see how you're getting motivated home sellers in this dry market.
We're not really finding them.
Okay, well, that's something that we can help. Like, what are you doing right now to, try and get these home sellers?
I wouldn't even ask that question. I just tell him what I'm going to do.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well, I wanted to reach out directly to you to see if you're open, to looking at any hidden gaps within your lead gen systems.
You're not smiling. You're not smiling. You're gonna be like, you're gonna be an Olympic athlete of smiling by the time this is done. Any
Well,
gaps in
yeah,
my lead gen? I wouldn't even go there. Is there any way that I can help you make money? I generate leads. That's what you do, right? Are you a lead
okay.
gen firm or what?
Anyway, okay.
Right? Like, I'm a lead gen service that is uh helping investors in the New York market get leads off of social media and Google AdWords. Do you mind if I tell you just a couple more? Does that sound like it's of interest to you? Right? Because you want to be really super duper respectful, because this guy,
Yeah,
right? Their time is gold. They're giving you freaking money, right? Like, thank you so much. Thank you for talking to me, right?
right.
Go ahead and try
No, no,
again.
no, yeah, I need to, let me see. Yeah, is there any way I can help you? Is there any way I can help you get more motivated home sellers?
I don't know. Is there?
Well, yeah, I mean, we help investors get qualified leads on social media. Is it something you're open to exploring?
How much is it?
So it depends on what your budget is for ads, but we recommend about 1K a month.
You want me to piss away $1,000 a month? For what? Like,
So with that, I mean, when you sell a home, you're gonna get, in this market, the profit's gonna be at least 10 to 15K.
yeah, but I don't even know you. I don't know your results.
That's valid. It's very valid. And hey, listen, really appreciate your time here. If I could, would you be open to me sending you a case study of one of our investors that did exactly that?
Then I got to give you my email and you can send me spam.
Hey, rest assured, we do not send that. One case study, if you want to respond, go ahead. If not, no worries at all.
Yeah, I don't think I'm interested. Okay, so check it out. Um, your case study, right? What happens in your case study? What does it say?
Just I can show you. That's the main point of the call. Just send them a case study.
Yeah, but I really don't want to give anybody my email,
That's fine. Then I guess
right?
that
Like, there's going to be a
call.
lot of people. I don't want to give somebody I don't even know. So what is this? How realtor turned investor landed 24 motivated home sellers a month in. So that right there, can you do that for me?
I mean, yeah,
Really? You can land me 24 motivated home. Do you understand how we're talking conversationally?
right.
Right, AJ? Can you do that for me?
Yeah, we could if you have
Really?
that budget for
Why?
it.
Why should I believe that? I'm in the New
Because we
York market. You're in the Washington market.
right. So for people in for New York, if you're open to exploring other than DC, then we could work together.
What are you going to do? That's like, why? Go ahead, talk.
I'm just writing down. If you're open to exploring markets outside of New York, that's what we specialize in.
Open to exploring markets outside of New York. You see what I just did? There's a mirroring question.
Yeah, outside of New York, places like DC, North Carolina, these are all markets that have these seller leads.
Say it louder.
Yeah, if
And
you're
with this,
open to exploring markets
we're having
outside
a
of New York
conversation.
or
Yeah,
DC, yeah, that's
right? Just be confident. So that's the other thing. They're gonna that I'm when I'm listening to your tone of voice, you're not confident. You're hesitating. Confidence, gotta have it, right? Like I can hear it in your voice. I can hear you're not confident. It's kind of part of me is like, okay, that's nice. But part of me is impatient. So scroll down a little bit on this. You can get me 24 leads in what areas? 24 leads, and how much is it going to cost? Because
I mean, that's yeah.
honestly, I'm not going to read what your case study here, because most of it is just like, I don't care. Like I'm interested in landed 24 motivated home sellers. Everybody in their freaking kid can, spend a bunch of money on
Right.
Facebook and blah, blah, blah. I don't care about Roy. I don't care about, all I care about is results. Can you get them or not? So this is one of the things that
Right.
happened. And I have 10 more minutes. So one of the things that happened, and I'll send you a copy of this call so that you can like
Right.
review it. So I had a bunch of companies trying to contact us for doing lead generation for commercial roofing and construction. And they all had like their thing, right? There's pipelineology, and we're going to there's some people that got me on the phone to talk, and what they were gonna do is they're gonna have like multi-touch systems. One person was gonna, you know, make sure there was a contact with somebody on LinkedIn, and then you would follow up with it on email. And there were all these different ways that you're gonna try to track and get to customers. And because it's hard to establish trust and to get people to give you time, right? Because they get a lot of people like you calling all the damn time. So the guys that ended up getting us, there were two of them that we ended up paying for the service. And one of them had like a really good understanding of Google Ads, and they had a landing page system that was really interesting. The best thing that they had going for them is no obligation. Well, sorry, wait. Those guys, those guys wanted 3,500 a month plus a, no, it was 3,000 a month plus a $1,500 a month ad spend. And that's pretty common in the market. Everybody was looking for a thing. This is the thing that they did that was different, and that was no contract, no obligation. You can cut us off at any time. We want to be an investment, not an expense. Yeah,
That's huge.
I would take this when you get this video. I would take this video and I'd make sure I watch it and think about what I'm saying here, because it's going to help you a lot. I guarantee it. The other guys that called us, and this is kind of to your point, because they were strictly cold callers, and they charged us $500 a lead. And when they gave us like a weekly report of how many people they were calling to get each one of those leads, is about 150 people. Think about that. 150 people. That's huge. It's a deal, right? Like, have you heard of a piece of software called Pipe Drive?
I have not heard of that software.
I think it's, yeah, Pipe Drive. Here, let me share my screen.
Sure, give me a sec.
Just really quick. Where'd you go? Okay, so can you see this?
Yep, I can see it.
Yeah, okay, so these guys, I don't know what you got for a CRM. These guys have a pretty solid CRM. And it's worth checking out because it's dedicated to one thing. It was built for salespeople by salespeople or something like that. It's just this super duper straightforward way to track your leads. Who am I calling? Because you're playing a numbers game, and you just got to call a fuck ton of people, right?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to track it. And you're going to have to follow up with them again. So you're going to know, I made contact with them. I failed to reach them. I need to call them back. You know, whatever, right? It's
Gotcha.
it's a super duper lean. It's pretty affordable. They give you a free trial for 14 days, right? And this was when I was doing research out of, right, it was like Zoho, HubSpot, Salesforce, and a bunch of other people. These
Yeah.
guys consistently came up as like, this is a really good way to go. Right, Trust Pilot.
Oh, you
Those guys know what the hell they're doing. it's very fast. It has keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that. So one, right, getting your CRM going. Two, practicing your cold call so that you have it down pat, and so that you have it short and concise and to the point,
Yeah.
so that you can have a conversation. You're going to go sit in front of that mirror and you're going to smile and you're going to say it until it's memorized and it's etched in your brain, and you can just like, and then you're going to start to hear it and it's going to be like, okay, that's weird. Nobody freaking talks like that. Like I'm supposed to be having a conversation with my friend. I'm supposed to be talking with a
Right.
buddy. Hey, Steve, we've been doing this thing where we're generating leads in Baltimore for, right, like $2,500 a month. We're getting great results, or whatever it is, right? It's just the fact that you're just getting straight to the point and you're having a conversation. That's it.
Right.
Smiling,
No, this is really helpful. So now I'm
right?
going to use Pipedrive as well.
Yeah. It's, I commend you for getting out there and doing it. It's a grind. You're going to learn so much from it. Really, don't hesitate to practice a lot. Like, use the force. Practice, practice, practice. Like, I've done a lot of public speaking and a lot of, you're gonna have things where you're gonna have to think on your feet. You're gonna have to, whatever it is though, just talk to the guy and be, if you can get him to laugh, that's great. Like, because you're actually connecting. But if you can't, just at least be saying something. And when you get them, think like this: thank you, right? Thank you for your time. You don't have to give me your time. Nobody has to listen to me, but you are, and thank you. And just kind of keep that mindset, because it's going to really matter, that how respectful
Right.
you are to the person, and how quickly you get to the point. And make sure, before I go, define success as failing 100 times, failing 500 times, failing 1,000 times. Every single call you make, and you really got to go, okay, I'm going to do 100 cold calls. I'm going to do 150 cold calls. And you have to grind it and just
Exactly.
fucking do it. And it's going to suck, but you're doing it.
No, I appreciate it. No, this is very helpful. And thanks so much for the time.
Sure thing, AJ. Dude, it's gonna really, it's character building. So I'm gonna tell you something that I told Cameron. My last parting thought. You ever heard of alchemy, when you turn lead into gold?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's something most people don't get. They don't realize alchemy is a path of spiritual transformation. Alchemy is not about turning lead into gold. You can't turn lead into gold, but you can turn your inner lead into gold. You can take your lack of experience, your inability to communicate clearly, concisely, friendly, smiling, conversationally. You can convert that through practice into gold so that you can do it well. That's what the true story is behind alchemy. So good luck converting your lead into gold. There's only one way you get to do that, and that's with fire.
It's a great
So
parting. and I appreciate it.
All right.
And yeah, thanks for the call, man. If anything on Upwork, I know to the chat, but I can always shoot you a couple things.
Okay.
If you had anything.
Okay, AJ, have a good weekend.
I'm helpful, man. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.